Hello guys, this is Antonio, Storytime, and this is just going to be a quick video. It's going to be a story time about me getting my Irish citizenship and my Irish passport. I'll give you a spoiler. I am an Irish citizen now. I'm going to explain how I got to that stage. First of all, a couple of disclaimers. Number one disclaimer, my voice is going to sound not great because I'm sick right now. So, not exactly feeling the best in terms of health. Just got a bit of bronchial infection right here in the lungs. So yeah, I'm just dealing with that. So I'm just dealing with that right now, trying to give it money, antibiotics, all that stuff. My voice sounds fine for the most part, but that's one thing. Number one. Number two, I'm gonna create a whole community centered around, me telling stories, me traveling, me talking politics. It's gonna be on separate channels though. You have AntonioTalks Politics, probably Antonio Vlogs, and you have Antonio Storytime. The only two channels that are established are AntonioTalks Politics and Antonio Vlogs. Those are the two ones that are established right now, that have emails and they're all set up. So those are the only two that are active right now. AntonioTalks Politics is the most developed in terms of the fact it has a couple of videos and a Twitter account. We don't have a Facebook account for it yet, but we're going to get it. But we do have a Twitter. We believe we have an Instagram, but I will put that information below so you can follow all my different channels. I would ask that you keep political discussions within AntonioTalks Politics comment section. This is purely about story time, and once or twice maybe you'll have a political story time of me because I'm an activist. That's all I'm going to get into. I don't want to bring AntonioTalks Politics into this show because I want this to be kind of a happy place where people can go and listen to story time, not, politics. So, anyways, but I may do a story time once or twice about my political activism, but outside of that, I'm going to try to leave it out of this channel. So, let's dive right into it, now that we've done with the disclaimers and everything. So, for about my entire life, up until I was about 12, my mom said I was entitled to Irish citizenship, but didn't really come up, had a lot going on in my life, and just didn't seem important. I was very young, so I said, it doesn't matter, and my mom would have been the one who applied, but there was no need, there was no rush. So, I live in the U.S. right now, just to add some context. Anyway, I live in the great land of the United States of America. Land of the free, home of the brave, I believe is how it goes. But anyway, so didn't really apply, just really didn't really come up in my mind. I knew I was Irish by descent, but I didn't really try to make it legal or anything. And then when I was about, I would say 12, about a year ago, me and my mom sat down and we decided it would be a good time to apply for Irish nationality, Irish citizenship. So we got, and let me explain now how I'm entitled before I go explain the process. This is not a how-to video, by the way. This is a story time. This is about my personal experience. So this is not a formal process. You have to look at their website, which I believe is dfa.ie. But don't quote me on that. That's the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade's website, but don't quote me on that at all. Like, I don't know the exact domain name, so don't quote me on that. But, regardless, so I'm entitled because anyone who has an Irish great-grandparent who was born on the Isle of Ireland or who has, through other means, Irish nationality can claim Irish citizenship. So, my mom said to me, well, you're entitled to Irish citizenship for me. Now, you may ask, how did she get it? She wasn't born in Ireland. Her mother wasn't born in Ireland. She was actually born in this country. Her mother was born in this country. But my great-grandparents, great-grandparents, my grandmother's mother and father were both born in the Republic of Ireland, Therefore, they're both Irish nationals. So my mom was at that time living and studying in Europe, working. I'm not going to get into any more than that because it's her private business. So I'm not going to get into more specifics than that. But she wanted freer travel within the EU. So she decided to apply for her Irish citizenship. So she could just freer travel within the EU. Because if you're an EU national, you have free travel within Europe. Which means, no visas. You can work, study, live. No visas. Not much of any immigration restrictions, I believe. Like Spain, I believe you have to register, but the registry, you don't get fined if you're not in the registry. It's more of a sort of record-keeping administrative thing, but there's no work, basically. You can just show with your passport and settle. Within anywhere in the EU, which is 28 countries. Well, 28 with an asterisk, not including Britain, which they're leaving right now, which a lot to get into, but that's AntonioTalks Politics anyways. They're leaving the EU right now, but she wanted freer travel within the EU, so she was in Europe at the time, so she, went back and forth to Ireland, got all the documents. She was living in Europe, so it was easy at that time. So she just got all the documents together, paperwork, birth certificates, and submitted it to the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. And they sent her back a foreign birth certificate, because they found that, because she claimed it for her grandparents. So she said, I'm going to try for my great-grandparents. She proved it. They gave her a foreign birth certificate. That means her grandchildren, it means her great-grandchildren, up to her great-grandchildren, are entitled to citizenship, Irish citizenship. But it has to be an unbroken line in order to get it through the mother. It means, she had to be an Irish citizen at the time of my birth. So it can't be like she acquired Irish citizenship after my birth. Now, she acquired Irish citizenship way before my birth. Okay? So I was well within the legal clear. And I claimed it for her, not my great-grandparents. Because if I did, it would have been a nightmare. Okay? She had to get a lot of paperwork. And it was, very hard for her to prove it. So I didn't want to go through the same experience. So I claimed for her, which I have the right to do. So I was wow, it was a long, long time. I don't want to say 6 months, but 4 or 5 months. But what I will say is, I commend the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and because they did great work in my application. It's they have thousands of applications coming from all over the world, and they have to issue Irish citizenship to all those people. They have a tough job, a lot of applications. Gotta make sure they're all correct. Because you only have a one-time shot. You don't get to review the citizenship on a yearly basis. Once someone's an Irish citizen, they're an Irish citizen. You can't. It's very hard to revoke it. So they have to be very careful with documents and stuff. And they do great work. So it was more me. I was younger, and I was very when is it coming in, sort of, rather than them being slow. They were actually quite good at it. They were actually quite good with the time. So it was 4 or 5 months, I think. I mailed it into them. 4 or 5 months, and then I got my citizenship back. So anyways, I was I don't want to say I was on the phone every month, but I was on the phone jeez Louise, I was on the phone pretty often. I probably made about 3 or 4 calls, so probably about 1 or 2 calls a month to the Foreign Birth Registry in Dublin. They were always kind on the phone. They were never even snarky, because they could tell by my age I was younger. But they were never snarky. They were actually quite nice. They answered my questions, and they said, we received your application, this is the status, and they did email me when I emailed them. They did email me back and stuff. Very good experience with them, no complaints, very nice to me on the phone. It was relatively affordable. I forget how much it was, but it was because that citizenship's for life, So it was actually relatively affordable. I believe it was $190 in price for that, maybe the passport. I don't know how much it was, but it wasn't crazy. Let me put it that way. They weren't the prices weren't too high, to get citizenship. So it was actually relatively affordable. So anyways, so I was often on the phone with them trying to get a status, and they were very helpful. They always gave me the best status they could. Very polite, very kind, good, honest, hardworking people. That's all I can say is good, hard-working, honest people. They always gave me a status when I called, and I was back and forth on the phone with them, and they always gave me the status, the newest update and stuff. So anyways, that happened, and I'm approaching 9 minutes, so I have to hurry up. But anyways, so very nice on the phone, a lot of phone calls made back and forth, very polite. They got back to me in about 4 or 5 months. My mom had a little party planned, because it came in during the day when I was at school. So she signed for it, and then she had it brought in and had a little Irish party, and she played the Irish jig music anyways. I got my foreign birth certificate, which is a long form, but still, it's a very, I don't want to say it's this long, but it's a pretty long form. Anyway, so after that, I wanted to set out to just finalize my citizenship. I didn't want to have to deal with it. I didn't want to have to, in 15 years, apply for a passport or anything. So what we did is we got my got my documents together. We waited about 1 or 2 months, and we, in order to get an Irish passport, you have to get a notary, as well on top of the citizenship proof, to notarize your identity, to say you are who you say you are, and to notarize the fact that because I'm a minor, that your parents are giving you lawful parental consent, because you can't be issued a passport without parental consent. Anywhere in the world. I don't know anywhere that does allow that. unless you're married, in which case I believe you have to go to the Irish High Court or to the Second Court in Ireland and apply for a formal order, and you have to send that on to them. But there are very few cases of that. No one gets married that young, and if you are married, you can apply to the district court, I guess, for an order. But anyways, I'm not an Irish legal expert, so anyways, I don't know how that works. But I'm at 11 minutes. I'm gonna do the account verification so I can get more time on my videos. But anyways, so I applied for my Irish passport. We did public notary. The public notary didn't end up working out because he didn't know us well enough. So the consular offices, not the consular offices, the passport offices at the Consulate General of Ireland in Boston. You know, I'm not gonna say where in New England I live for privacy reasons. You know, because the consular districts are quite big. It's Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. So I could live in any one of those states, but I'm not going to get into it because of privacy reasons. Anyways, I applied to them. You know, they sent back saying we need to know the witness better, which was fair enough. It's Irish law, so I got a proper witness. And then this time they accepted it, and they took about 2 to 3 months to process. And they sent me back my Irish citizenship. They sent me back my Irish passport. My passport's valid for 5 years, and in 5 years I'll be allowed to renew via the online renewal system, which is great, I hear. It's much better than paper renewal. The Boston Consul, once again, nice, good, honest people, doing a great job, as quick as they can be. I love the tracking online, that once it arrives in Dublin, you can track it online. Because Dublin actually physically produces your passport, so that was great. I loved Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade passport office sort of online tracking system. The staff was courteous, hours were pretty flexible. I live in the States, so it's a bit of a problem with the time difference, but besides that, it was very good. Very nice people and all that, and they did a good job. Sent me back my Irish passport, and I'm not going to actually show you the inside of it, and I don't have it on me, but you guys probably won't be able to see that because of the glare, but that's what my Irish passport looks like, at least. And that is not actually the data page, that is just the page. It has all the European countries on it, and just a little face photograph of me. But I'm not going to actually show you the data page because it has passport number and all that stuff, so that's privacy. But, you know, that's the front of my Irish passport. I know it's not that good, but I can upload that as a thumbnail if you guys really want it. And anyway, so I got my Irish passport. I have to renew in 5 years if I want to keep it up to date. The reason why I got it was so that in the future it will be a lot easier. Because once you have an Irish passport, you know, it's a lot easier. Because then they can just say, oh, well, he's on and approved in the past. So that means your citizenship isn't really in question anymore. It's just about keeping the information updated. So in 5 years, I'll be allowed to renew via the online renewal system. Okay, which is for those whose passports have less than 12 months left on them in terms of validity, and for those whose passports are not more than 2 years expired. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply online. It's gonna be great, and hopefully they say 2 weeks postage. People even get it like in 2 to 3 days, I hear on Twitter. So I guess it's very quick. So it's very easy actually. You take a photo. If they say you have to do, you can't do a webcam, you can't do selfie. You can either do it with a photo provider, like CVS. They will give it to you. I don't know if they do, but legally, technically, you can try to get it in. You can get an electronic form, or you can go to like a photo booth in Ireland, and it's like they give you a code, and that's called for the photo provider PhotoMe, I hear. Anyways, but that's not relevant to me because I don't live in Ireland, and I probably won't in 5 years. I'll probably be living in the land of the free, home of the brave. But anyways, that's what I predict. But so PhotoMe doesn't apply. You can also take it with your smartphone. You can't use webcams. You can't use selfie sticks or selfies. But you can get someone else to take it for you. You have to have a clear webcam, stuff like that. Sort of basic stuff. Basic sort of photo sort of stuff. You have to get it, not exactly right, but it has to be relatively on base. So anyways, that's the plan. with that in 5 years. This is just a little bit of story time on my Irish passport and citizenship. I'm approaching the 15-minute mark. I'll just verify the account, and I'll go up to 20 minutes for this. But that's just my story of how I got my Irish citizenship and my Irish passport. So, it's been great. I'm very grateful to all the folks at the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. I'm very grateful to all the folks at the passport office. Oh, yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. But I'm very grateful to all the folks at the passport office. Very grateful to all the folks at the Consul of Boston. Very grateful to all the folks at the Foreign Birth Registry unit. I'm very grateful to all of them because they did their job. They really helped me out, and it was great what they did. So really appreciative of that. And I'm officially Irish now, so I even have a passport to prove it. So technically Irish. So it's great. So that's really wrapping it up. I have a personal account that has nothing to do with Antonio Talks Politics or this channel. That is just for me personally. I may link that, I don't know yet. But I will definitely, I'll try to start Instagram and Twitter accounts for, I know I have a Twitter account for Antonio Talks Politics, but I'll link that, and I'll create a Twitter account for this, hopefully the next day or two. But, anyways, just thank you all for listening, and I want to thank everyone who's given me support. You know, viewership, subscribers, everything, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And God bless the Republic of Ireland, and God bless these United States of America. God bless you all. Bye.